Welcome, dear fans. We will present to you, today, a special topic of great importance, which is the cell in the body of the living organism, and we will mention its types in detail. But if you like the video, do forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell button, and like the video to receive all new. A cell is defined in biology as the basic unit that contains the main molecules of life that make up all living organisms. And a single cell is often a whole organism in its own right, such as bacteria or yeast cells, and some cells acquire specialized functions when they grow and mature, and that cooperates with other specialized cells to become the foundations or building blocks for large multicellular organisms, such as humans and other animals. And although the cells are much larger than atoms, they are still very small, and the smallest is a group of microbacteria that they are called mycoplasmas. And human cells are much larger than single-cell mycoplasmas, yet they remain very small, and there are many types of cells present in the human race. And we will talk in this article about the types of cells in the human body, cell types in the human body. Different types of cells in the human body and vary greatly. And a single cell is able to metabolize its own nutrients, synthesize of energy, and repeat themselves for the production of future generations. Below are the types of cells that will be detailed. In the human body, 1. Stem cell cells in the human body, which are the raw materials for the body, meaning that they are the cells through which the formation of all other body cells begins, and that have specialized in specific functions, and when conditions are appropriate, both within the body or in the laboratory, stem cells divide to form more cells, which are called infant cells, which grow into new stem cells, which is called self-regeneration, or they may differentiate into specialized cells with a more specific function, for example, blood cells, brain cells, cardiac muscle cells, or bone cells. In fact, these cells are among the types of cells in the human body that naturally have the ability to generate new types of cells. Several sources of stem cells in the body, which researchers discovered, are as follows. 2. Embryonic stem cells, which is taken from fetuses that range between 3 to 5 days. Adult stem cells. Stem cells can be found in small numbers in most adult body tissues, such as bone marrow or fat, and adult stem cells have a limited ability to generate new cells for the body, compared to fetal stem cells. Adult cells stimulated to obtain the properties of embryonic stem cells. Scientists have succeeded in stimulating adult cells and turning them into stem cells by changing genes in adult cells to work similarly to embryonic stem cells. Embryonic stem cells. Stem cells have been discovered in the amniotic fluid surrounding the fetus, as well as in the blood of the umbilical cord. And these cells are characterized by their ability to transform into specialized cells. Blood cells. The blood consists of many cells and is one of the types of cells in the human body, and blood is a fluid that circulates in the blood vessels and provides all the organs, structures and tissues of the body with nutrients and oxygen and works to remove waste. Within the bloodstream there are many cells and proteins, which makes the blood is a rather thick liquid, and the average person has about 5 liters of blood. And the liquid called plasma makes up about half of the blood content. The plasma contains proteins that help the blood to clot and perform other functions as well. The blood plasma also contains glucose and nutrients, the other soluble, and in addition to that, about half the volume of blood consists of blood cells, which are 3 red blood cells, or red blood cells that carry oxygen to different tissues in the body. White blood cells, or leukocytes, which work to fight infections and foreign bodies. Platelets. They are small cells that help blood to clot. Muscle cells are muscle-forming cells that are a cell type in the human body, and in fact muscle cells are also supplied with incoming sensory nerve endings, and are sensitive to mechanical and chemical changes in muscle tissue that transfer this information back to the central nervous system. And muscle cells are formed from the way of the merging and elongation of many progenitor cells, a type of stem cell which is called muscle cell. And muscle fibers are formed from small and large bowel muscles. 4. Fat cells. Fat cells are one of the types of cells in the human body, and fat is often seen as harmful to the body. But in reality, the fat cells perform many different functions in the human body, as they help in the flow of communication between nerves, and contribute to the storage of supplies, biosynthesis of some fat-soluble vitamins, in addition to strengthening the immune system. As for the cellular level, fats support the membranes that surround cells and act as deposits that bind to proteins and allow different reactions. Fat cells are defined as the cells that store excess fat, that is, molecules that contain fat, and recent research has shown that these cells